Hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger. I got my glasses on here. I broke my other pair. Got the air conditioning on because I've got a guitar in a tent. It's in a tent with a space heater. That's the Strat refinish project. And that's finishing up today. I'm going to be shooting clear coat. And we're waiting on the Fender Stratocaster decal. It's a water slide decal that goes on the neck. Now that and the knobs and the whammy bar are still coming. I'm waiting on those parts to arrive, but I'm in no hurry because the amount of time that I'm going to let the guitar cure for, and by cure I mean sit in a tent with a space heater cooking it to like 90 degrees. That way I will only be really handling the guitar when it's finished rather than putting fingerprints and dents in it because the clear coat is still soft. So the weather is nice. Coming up, we're going to do a remote. We're going to be going out and doing a live remote music day. We haven't been playing. I wrote 2 new pieces and we were working on those, and then we got sidetracked with family stuff. And also, I have injured myself. So I'm just going to talk about why I didn't do a lot of remote music days this year and how I feel about that. I feel like I owe it to you guys to be going, shooting video and uploading that, but if the weather's too hot or if I'm not well enough, it's just not going to be the case. And we had some family stuff. So early in the year, we had catastrophic failure. I had an amp board that was for an upgrade that did not work, and I put some batteries in backwards at a remote and blew up an MP3 board. We managed to get out. I wrote some stuff. Some of that stuff is up. Blueberry Morning, a reboot on a song called Jackrabbit Sinister Attack, and then Your Loss. But there's Free Food, another tune that never got played. We also have the Fireman's Waltz and this Pink Floyd tribute that's new that we were working on recently. We lost my mom. It got unbelievably hot and humid. I had to wait on a board to ship from China. More recently, I tried to perfect my center channel rig, which we built 3 pedals and they were unbelievable pain in the ass. 2 cabinet simulators and then the Benson preamp was all really, really challenging. Making all kinds of cables. I built a battery box. Testing out all these sounds. I ordered this little mini multi-effector for $50, which was a distortion, overdrive, reverb, and delay. So that all came together, and I've got a really nice sounding center channel rig that's versatile, that could stand on its own and just be a rig, which is awesome. We finally got myself a cheap Strat to refinish, which was something I've got on my list for 15 years to do. And that's happening. Like today, I'm shooting the clear on it. We had my granddaughter's first birthday, which was a huge family party, an outdoor thing, all kinds of people. And that day, if it wasn't for that party, I would have been making music remote. Same thing with later that week. My younger daughter was here with her son, my grandson, and it's important to me to spend time with that kid, this little guy. He's coming into his terrible twos a little early, and she's got her hands full with him. We don't get to see her much, and that's really all I want to say about that. I mean, I had to be here for them. But the reality of it is, if she wasn't here, that was another remote I missed. Another one. So there's 2, -2 for family things. Now, I've got to be perfectly clear. How do I feel about that? Well, I would never trade that hour I spent in the parking lot with both of my brothers where we treated each other like brothers, which has almost never happened. Almost never happened. There's always somebody who's a little bit bent out of shape, and sometimes it's for good reason in my family. Trust me. If you know families, you know what I mean. Now, We are going to be doing a remote coming up. We haven't been playing, so I gotta rush a practice. Maybe we'll be able to get some. We'll at least have some tunes for you. They might not be new. These two new songs that we have are they're very hard to play. One of them is like 17 minutes long. It's the most challenging piece we've ever done. So I got to be honest with myself. I feel like I need to say sorry to you guys because that's all me yapping about my plans, going on and on about what I'm planning on doing, and then reporting that I did it. Or sometimes I'll film while I'm doing it. Hey, this is what I'm making. But it all leads to this one thing, which is the remote music day. So this year it didn't work out. We've done 2, and we're gonna do one more. It looks like, but that's probably gonna be it. Maybe if we get an Indian summer, I could sneak another one in, and I doubt it. So how do I feel about that? Well, it's unfortunate. The person who that affects the most is me, because those remote music days are like my vacations. That's what I really live for, And I've got to be honest with myself. On the other hand, I wouldn't trade that party or hanging out with my grandson for a music day. So it is what it is. If you would have told me in the 80s that I would build my own PA system that I could fit in the car and it would sound as good as it does, I never would have believed you. So I'm unbelievably blessed to be able to throw down $50 and get a bullet strat, and then have the skills and the tools to pull off a refin that looks decent, and like get a set of 3 Alnico magnet pickups for $20. I think I paid $25 for that. So I'm going to end up with, like, let's say maximum for everything, about 150 on this strat. And what I'll end up with is a guitar that I finished myself, that I can be so proud of, that the only real weak spot is the tremolo system, maybe. So my center channel amp setup is strong enough to stand on its own, flexible enough to sound really good in all 3 modes, clean, edge of breakup, or a little bit of overdrive, and then high gain. So I'm just unbelievably blessed. I've got to be serious about it. But then when it's on YouTube and it becomes a thing, when I'm trying to sell myself to you guys, then it becomes where I start feeling like I've done something, where I'm slacking. You know what I mean? And I don't want to feel like that, because the fact of the matter is, if you had injured your eye and had torn your rotator cuff and had a bone spur and had 2 herniated discs, I don't think you'd be wanting to go out when it's 106 degrees with the humidity factored in, drag all this stuff out to some little pavilion and sit in there and sweat with beat hornets coming down on you all day. I mean, with people walking by going, I didn't know it was band practice. So it is what it is. I wish I could have had more music for you guys, but I think my track record has shown I'm pretty good on delivering that. When you look at other people that have guitar channels, do those guys bring music? I mean, I think the guy who I see doing that, Pete Thorne and JHS with their little song snippets they do, they're great. That's a great little band, and people, I'm not the only one that's made a comment, you guys should do an album, because they should. They should. Those guys they're a good little band. Anyway, you guys, I'm super excited about the future. I know there's always next year. I have no idea what's going to happen. Am I going to take all kinds of time off? Probably. Am I going to do an album in January? Probably. Are we going to be back with more remotes next summer? Hopefully. Probably. So thank you so much for being there and keeping me company. And I should probably tell the story of before I was leading up to letting you go. I went to the optometrist and he recognized me. He was like, hey, I know you. I had been to the same guy like 10 years ago cleaning a barbecue brush, and the bristle broke off and shot it and stuck in my eye. So he had a little tool. It looked like a X-Acto knife, but it was shaped like a melon baller, like a real tiny thing. And he scooped all this eye matter out. And I'm all like, ah! And he's like, stand still! Stop blinking! Like coming in, like digging my house. So when I was working on something, and there was all this dried super glue in there, and I got in there and scraped it, almost like I had my glasses on my nose, and I went like a hockey shot, and this huge chunk of super glue shot into my eye, and it felt like it was in there. I guess I just scratched the cornea. I just injured my eye. So I was all blinking, and it was all like watery, and then like it's like my vision would get blurry, and I would start blinking. So I went in, and he looked at it. He said there's nothing in there. Gave me these drops, and then there's a cream, which I've been a bad boy. I didn't put the cream on 2 days in a row. I got to cream it up tonight. So hallelujah. I was thinking the worst. I looked it up, and it's like, super glue is toxic for your eye. I was thinking I'm going to go blind in this eye. I'm going to have a patch. I still have whatever's wrong in my shoulder is serious. I may have to go through physical therapy for that. I really didn't want to. Like, the path to physical therapy is X-ray, MRI, which I can't handle an MRI. I can't handle it. So we'll see. Hopefully this is just going to heal up on itself. I need to start praying. So if you believe, pray for me, please. And I just need you guys to understand how I feel about it, and the fact that when I had like a bone spur that's giving me fire elbow, and I can't move my shoulder without unbelievable pain, and then I'm all like blinking. Can you give me a break on not doing these remotes this year? You know, I really wasn't in any shape to want to go through this process. So it is what it is. I'm super blessed and super lucky to be able to do what I do on the budget that I do it, like not really spending that much money, but being able to produce some good results, especially considering I only have 2 fingers and I'm not a talented musician. So I'm super blessed is really what it is. And to have Donna as my partner and work as hard as she does to make this silly stuff happen, you know. So I'm super lucky, and for me to get up here and be like, we only got to go 3 times, like that's bad, is pretty narrow-minded thinking, you know. So wherever you are, hug your pets, take care of yourself, stay cool, and peace.